Kristian,
Hello.
thank you for coming. Core, this is for heat training.
Yeah, correct. So this is a new core sensor 2, which I've been using a lot, especially in the build-up to races. We're racing typically like warm climate. And what's really great with the new one, and also like the app, you can also easier understand what the different core sense or core temperature is meaning, and the skin temperature, especially now with the new heat index. So you can see which heat index zone you're training in, and it also gives you like a load of how much time you've been spending in each zone, and also the total amount of heat stress that you've been putting your body under. So as example, going into Texas 6 weeks ago or something, where we were racing under like 30 plus degrees Celsius during the whole bike and run. We knew that it would be warm, and that's also why we were putting in some heat training in advance, that where I was actually going higher in the heat zone in the training I did leading into the race compared to how I was actually racing. So I was actually racing at a lower heat stress than what I was doing in training leading into the race. So it's a really great tool in order to understand what heat training means.
Are you using mostly the core temperature when you're training, or are you looking at the heat indexes, and where are you kind of aiming when you're using your heat sessions, or are you setting up your heat sessions?
Both the core temperature and also the heat index. So which zone I'm getting into. So yeah, but also like if you just look at the core sensor, like it takes time to get into that zone, so it also takes time to build in, and you also want to make sure that it's sort of gradually increasing throughout the session. Because if you go too hard out and think like, oh, I need to go straight into the heat zone 3, it's difficult to get enough time in that zone. So you want to make sure that also like gradually increasing throughout the session, and also that you're finishing off at a pretty high in heat index zone.
Yeah, so you want to gradually go into heat zone 3.
That's more in order to be able to mentally get through the session.
Yeah.
I feel if you just go all out from the beginning, it will sort of crack you, and you're not able to get enough time in that zone that you need to. So yeah, it's like by seeing you can see on your computer like that you're getting into like a higher and higher heat index zone. It's easier to understand that this is giving me better acclimation. Typically you see that the heart rate is increasing and the power is either staying the same or it's even dropping lower, and at the same time that the heat or the core sensor is going through the roof. So yes, of course you can do heat training without the core sensor, but then it's more difficult to understand the effect it's having on your body, and it's also more tricky to learn from the heat training that you're doing, and it's also more difficult to be in control during the races that you're doing.
Yeah. Do you only use heat training before competitions in the heat, or can you also do you benefit anything in like cooler climates or competitions in Norway?
Oh yeah, you can do it for both races. So it's a little bit like you do with altitude training. If you go to altitude and then you race at sea level, you get a benefit from that. So by doing heat training and then racing 15 degrees cooler, you will also get like that benefit that you're actually having the body is more efficient after doing the heat training, and also have the increased blood plasma, and you just feel that yeah, it's more comfortable even if like just 20 degrees or 17 degrees.
Yeah, because in theory with heat training you get more blood, and so you can collect more oxygen.
And also typically you put it in if you feel that you're getting in shape, but then you're afraid of getting that the load to be too big, like typically when you're running fast. Also every session you're doing is putting an extra load on your body. So when you're fit, you're typically running 10 seconds faster per K or something, and those sessions is often breaking down your muscles and your bones and can actually lead into stress fractures. So in order to still get a great training benefit from a session when you're in shape, you can add on heat stress and keep the pace even 5 seconds slower than you would normally, but it feels 15-20 seconds harder because of the heat stress, and then your heart and your lungs and sort of your body is working harder, but it's softer for your muscles.
Yeah, so if you've been injured, that's a way to kind of ease back into training without having the same mechanical load that you would have.
Yeah,
normally.
correct,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
And then you can also, like block-wise, like some period of time you want to create that naturally easier way to get speed. Then you maybe want to avoid doing the heat session when you're doing intensity. So like balancing it out, like you're having like a tool, another tool in your toolbox. You can increase.